Mr. George, let me know whenever you're ready to start.
Yes, sir, we are ready. We are going to start.
Yeah, shall we?
Hello, Sean.
Yes, Father.
Can we get started?
Yes, Father. Yes, Father. We can. Sandhya sir is here. Yes. Sandhya sir.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, good evening to all. Thank you for taking time to attend this inaugural and awareness program of National Digital Library in our college. I'm Munyapam Sandesh, Assistant Professor at Christ College of Science and Management, Malur. It gives me immense pleasure to extend my Christ College of Science and Management, Department of Library and Information Center, who has taken the initiative in organizing this awareness program on National Digital Library of India in association with IIT Kharagpur, MHRD India, and IQAC. Dear participants, before beginning the session, I would like to display a few instructions on the screen to be followed during the webinar session. Kindly make use that your name should be printed in your own name. If not, please change it into your official name as it will be taken on the approval of the certificate. Please note that you will be muted throughout the session. You can ask your queries to the speaker during the feedback session by using the raise hand option, or you can use the chat box during the question answer session. The certificate will be issued to the participation on the successful completion of this webinar. Please do not post any queries, same during the session. Please ensure that you fill the feedback form, the link which will be given to be posted in the chat box towards the end of the session. If there is any technical or network issues, please bear with us. We will solve it as soon as possible. Prayer is talking to the God. Prayer is the world's greatest wireless connection. So let us seek his blessings in his silence for the session to be a successful one without any technical issues. Yeah, a true welcome is never complete without a warm words and warmer gestures. Now I request Assistant Professor, Department of Management, Reverend Father Ebin Tommy, CMI, to accord a formal welcome to the webinar participants.
Respected Dr. Vignesh Varnamohan, Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, National Digital Library of India, dear teachers and beloved students, a pleasant evening to one and all. Benjamin Carson Sr., an American neurosurgeon and a 70 in the United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development once said, if we commit ourselves to reading, thus increasing our knowledge, only God limits how far we can go in this world. Knowledge is never static, but its very nature, it is dynamic and need to be updated every now and then. The possibilities of a digital library provides us the scope of updating ourselves with the fresh and new knowledge with an instant search in the web. It gives me an immense pleasure to state that we are associating with IIT Kharagpur in the initiative for the largest digital library of India, sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. And today, we are privileged to have an eminent resource speaker for today's webinar, Dr. Vignesh Varnamohan, Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, National Digital Library of India, to explore and to give awareness into the world of largest digital library of India. He holds a doctorate from the Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, and has been actively participating in various international forums. It is with a great pride I introduce and welcome Dr. Vignesh to this esteemed scholastic community. A most hearty welcome, dear and respected Dr. Vignesh. I also welcome all our faculty members and student community to this enriching knowledge experience. Wishing you all a great experience of learning. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Father. It is truly an honor to be welcomed by you. Well, today we have a well-known personality present amongst us to educate and enlighten us in this session. Presenting Dr. Vignesh Varnamohan is currently the Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, National Digital Library of India. Earlier to this, he worked with the Indian Public Library Movement and CSC, that is E-Governance Services in India Limited. Dr. Vignesh has managed large development public library movements and as well as projects like National Digital Literacy Mission, Cybergram Yojana, E-Inclusions, which includes IT training for rural SC/ST women beneficiaries, E-Vidya, innovative projects for rural women, women digital literacy project, child labor, family linkage projects, financial literacy and investors awareness, legal literacy, digital diagnostic kits, and telemedicine centers. Vignesh holds a Doctor of Philosophy from Center for the Study of Law and Governance, Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, which is short term, which is known as New Delhi, with a Master 8 in Public Participation international forums. So we're deeply honored to have you amongst us, and we're looking forward to you, sir. Now I request you to take over this online platform and enlighten us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Santesh. further have been Mr. George. Thanks to each one of you for inviting us to be part of this event. First of all, my heartiest congratulations to your institution for starting an NDLI club in your own institution and having a good number of participants for this session. So let me quickly share a presentation that I have prepared for this session. And then towards the mid of the session, we will have a quick first-hand experience of the National Digital Library of India. And then we will have a brief question and answer session. And at any point of time, if you have any doubts, kindly raise your hands or put it in the chat box so that I can respond to your queries then and there. Right. So now, let me quickly start with the first slide, which talks about what are we going to look at in today's session. So we are going to look at why the National Digital Library of India was set up on the first instance, and then we will see what you call this, how does the National Digital Library work, what kind of content we have, who is this meant for, how to access the National Digital Library, what is the difference between Google and the National Digital Library, and then in the last part, we will see how to operate NDLI Club in your own institution. So these are the 7 things that we are going to look at in today's session. And the first things first, why the National Digital Library? Well, so what is happening in the recent past, especially the last 5 to 7 years, has been there has been drastic reduction of financial and human resources for libraries. So the institutions have their own reasons. They say that there are not much admissions happening, or the students or faculty members are not using the library in a way that they are expected to use. Hardly there are 1 or 2 people who visit the library. And they also say the library and the library staff don't have any work. They just sit in the library and do nothing. So these are some of the common things that we hear from many of the college management or the institutional management. But if you look at the deep issue, if the students are not reading well, or if they are not using the library in a way that it is expected to be used, it's going to directly impact on the learning outcomes of the students. So the students who are passing out from your institutions, if they are not passing out with flying colors in terms of either in terms of higher education or in terms of getting a good job offers, then it's a serious problem, right? So we all have to bear with that problem. So and also the government of India looked at this issue very seriously, and they actually wanted to democratize education. So they wanted to give equal access to the knowledge resources to every Indian citizen. So that is when this idea of National Digital Library of India came into existence way back in 2014 and 15. And it was launched as a pilot project in 2016. So it has its own advantages, like every things have positive and negative pros and cons. So the digital library also has its pros, like you can access the digital library resources multiple persons at the same time, which is not possible in the physical library. Say, for example, one of your faculties have suggested to read a chapter from a book, and unfortunately your library has only 2 copies of it, one for reference, another one is for circulation. What would you do? And most likely, if it's a good resource, it might have been already issued to another faculty member. So you wait either for that book to come back, hoping that the book will come back, because in my experience, when the book goes to a faculty member, it hardly comes back. It keeps going back to the same faculty member or his or her friend's name. So that's a challenge. But in the digital library, you can access the same resource with thousands of people at the same time, right? And also, you won't have any missing, hidden, or damaged resources in the digital library, which is a problem in the physical library. And also, there is no physical boundary. Say, for example, suppose you are preparing for your examination, which is going to happen tomorrow, and at around 11 o'clock, you realize that you forgot to read a chapter. So now you have to get back to the library to read, but by the time you realize, the library might have been closed. So, but in this case, you can access the National Digital Library at any point of time from any part of the globe. So you don't have any physical constraint to accessing the resources. And also there is no space constraint. Say for example, suppose if your library has about 50,000 resources and you want to scale it up to say 200,000. So what do you need is a huge infrastructure, physical as well as technical infrastructure, furnitures, fixtures to manage this entire thing, which needs huge investment. But in the digital library, you can just scale it up in within few hours, right? Like the cons are like, I feel like reading when I go to a library, sitting in a remote corner, and you smell the book. Then only I feel like reading. So that feeling part is left in the digital library. But these days, young generation more like to use or access the resources from their mobile phones or from their laptop. And also it can act as a major tool for preservation and conservation. And during this period of lockdown due to this COVID-19 pandemic, the entire world came to a standstill. But even during that time, the National Digital Library of India was giving access to its resources to over 6 crore users during this pandemic period. Now let's see, how does the National Digital Library work? So I will explain it with the help of this diagram. So imagine this central part. This is the National Digital Library of India platform. And as a first step, what we do is we partner with institutions. Say, for example, if Christ College of Science and Management has 1,000 non-copyrighted, open source, digitized resources, which could be your faculties, video lectures, audio lectures, class notes, question banks, PowerPoint presentations, your student publications, any teaching, learning, research material, right? Which you are willing to share it with every Indian citizen. So as a first step, we sign an agreement with your institution. And then we help you in setting up an IDEA. IDEA stands for Institutional Digital Repository. This is like a mini website, right? So you create an IDEA, and here you organize these 1,000 resources in an organized way, and then create metadata for each of these resources. Say, for example, suppose if Father Abin shares one of his video lectures, what is the topic of that video lecture? What is who is the author? Who is the publisher? When was it published? What are the topics that are being covered? So the basic information about that video lecture is called metadata, right? So we create metadata for each of these 1,000 resources. And then we just pull the metadata from here and then we store it in our repository. Now imagine if a researcher from Mangaluru wants to access one of your faculty's lectures, video lectures, right? So he or she comes to NDLI, they just search for that resource. Once they locate that resource, they click on that resource, then we redirect them to your IDR. So here you validate this user. If he is found to be a genuine registered user of NDLI, you give him access to the entire video content directly to this researcher. So in this process, what happens is NDLI acts only as a content facilitator. We don't own the content. The content ownership is completely with the content contributor. In this case, with your institution. What we do is we just promote the knowledge sharing access among the young generation. That is what NDLI does. As I said, we primarily partner with institutions. We don't scan books. We don't write or publish our own articles. We rather partner with research institutions, publishing institutions, academic institutions. So far we have partnered with over 386 such institutions across the globe. Now let's see what kind of content we have. So we have computer science, information and general works, closer to 1.66 crore. Philosophy and psychology, we have about 6 lakh resources. Religion, we have 2 lakh. Social sciences, 61 lakh. Language, 1.9 lakh. Natural sciences and mathematics, we have about 19 lakhs. Technology, we have 1.27 crore. The arts, fine and decorative arts, we have about 19 lakhs. Literature and rhetoric, we have 9 lakh. History and geography, we have 11 lakh resources. So if you add all these, as of today, we have 7.9 crore resources in our repository. And these 7.9 crore resources are available in multiple learning resource formats. They're not just only ebooks or articles. They are PowerPoint presentations, video lectures, audio lectures, class notes, courseware, term papers, assignments, assessments, lab experiments, manuals, case studies, question banks, model answers, data sets, manuscripts, e-books, faculty publication, thesis, dissertations, master's projects, law acts, law judgments. So we have over 60 different types of learning resource formats available at NDLI. And they come in 5 different access options. So what are these 5 access options? Open access, NDL users content, limited access, subscribed access, and authorized access. So out of these 5 access options, only open and NDL users, these 2 access options will give you access to the entire content. So we, in technical terms, we call it as full text content. Okay. So how do you find these logo? Say, for example, you are searching on a topic. So you will get a list of results, search results, right? So below every search result, you can see these 3 logos, right? The first logo denotes the access option. So since it's a green lock with open means it's a open access. It means you can download this entire content. And the second one denotes the language. It's an English language content. And the third one is content type. This is a text content, right? So if you look at the access option-based content, open access contents are about 5.81 crore resources. And NDL users contents are about 6.64 lakh resources. So if you add these two, so about 5.88 crore resources, that is about 74% of our resources are completely free of cost. So you don't have to pay a single penny for neither for registration nor for accessing these 5.88 crore resources from our repository. And if you look at the learning resource type as content, so articles are the major chunk of resources that we have with the 4.15 crore resources, followed by newspaper articles, which are about 74 lakhs. Books are about 67 lakhs. We have thesis of about 7.4 lakhs. Video lectures are about 4.62 lakhs. And who is this resources meant for? So the resources available at NDLI are meant for every age group. So we have resources for school children. We have the resources for college going youths, working professionals, academicians, researchers, entrepreneurs, lifelong learners. So anyone who is interested in learning, we have resources for them. Now, let's see how do we access the National Digital Library. So there are 2 ways through which you can access the National Digital Library. One is through a mobile app. So we have the mobile app for both the Android as well as iOS, or you can access it through a browser-based application also. What I will do is I will quickly live demonstrate it to you how to use the National Digital Library. In the meanwhile, if you want me to search for any topic and demonstrate it to you, just put those topics in the chat box so that I can quickly search it in front of you and then show it to you. Okay. So let me, so first go to any browser and then search for National Digital Library of India. So the first URL which you get, which is ndl.iitkgp.ac.in, this is our official URL, right? So once you click that URL, this is how the NDLI homepage looks like. Okay. So now there are 2 ways through which you can access the content. One is through a open search. So here you can enter the search keyword and search, or you can browse the content. So there are 4 ways through which you can browse the content. There are browse by content type. Say for example, if you want to browse by say only video content, so just click on video. Then you can see there are about 6.35 lakh video contents that are available. Say, suppose if you want only say presentations, so just click on presentation. Then you can see there are about 1.77 lakh presentations that are available. Similarly, you can do a browse by subject. Say, for example, suppose if you want social sciences, you just click on social sciences. And then under this, if you want, say, economics, you just click on economics. Okay. So likewise, you can further do a 3rd level of subject thing also. And then you can do a browse by source. Source is nothing but the content contributor. I told you there are about 386 content contributors. All of them are listed under the source category. Say, for example, if you want only NPTEL lectures, you just click on NPTEL. You can see there are about 1.51 lakh NPTEL resources that are available. And suppose if you want SWAYAM NPTEL resources, you just click on SWAYAM. You can see there are about 1 lakh resources are there. And suppose if you want books, there is a resource from InfoNet called EPG Pathshala, which has about 22,000 books from various disciplines for higher educational institutions. Or if you want, say, Shodh Ganga, suppose if you want theses which are submitted in Indian universities, there is an initiative called InfoNet Shodh Ganga. So you just click on Shodh Ganga. Then you can see there are about 2.69 lakh theses that are submitted in various Indian universities are available at NDLI. Okay. So likewise, you can browse the content. And then you can browse by learning resource type. Say, for example, suppose if you want only books, you just click on book. Then you can see there are about 67 lakh books that are available. Or if you want only thesis, you just click on thesis. then you can see there are 7.4 lakh pieces that are available in our repository. So this is how you can browse the content. Now, suppose if you want to search, do an open search on a topic. Say, let me search for artificial intelligence. Okay. So I searched for a topic called artificial intelligence. I got about 2.67 lakh resources. Okay. Now, I want only full text content. I want the entire content to be downloaded. So what you have to do is on the left hand side, you can see there are filters. One of the filters is access restriction. So here, suppose if you want only full text content, you have to choose open and NDLI. Now we have got 1.41 lakh resources which are open access, that is full text content from NDLI. And similarly, if you want only video content, on the right hand side, you can see there is a filter called content type. And if you want only video, you just click on video. Now you can see there are 273 video contents that are available on this topic of artificial intelligence. Now, suppose if you want only text content, you just click on text. Right now, if you want to download this content, just click on that content. It will take you to a page of the corresponding site. First, click on metadata. So this information is called metadata. Right now, if you want to download this content, you just click on content. Now you can just go through this abstract. Right. Sorry. Now, if you want to download this content, you just have to click on this PDF. Then the entire content will get downloaded into your machine or mobile phone, depending on whichever device you are accessing it from, it will get downloaded. So this is a 7-page article. Right now, you can use it for educational and research purposes. So this is how you can view or download a content from NDLI. Now, our friends have given me a few topics. Let me just search. You have not given me any topic. Can you guys give me any topic?
Psychology.
Psychology. Fine. So I searched for a topic called psychology. I got contemporary psychology, OpenStax. What is psychology? So we have about 13 lakh resources available on this topic. Right. Any other topic that you wanted to search? Say human resource management. So I searched for a topic called human resource management. I got about 2.4 lakh resources. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Business. Somebody was giving me a
strategic cost management.
strategic
Cost management.
Fine. Management. Right. So we have about 62,000 resources on this topic. Okay. Now, if you want, let me see if there are any video lectures. There are about 24 video lectures that are available, but they are out of context. But, we can just go back and see if this is having a lot of resources. Now you can further search or narrow down using various filters. So Ms. Gautami gave me a topic called computer science. Let me search for computer science. So okay, computing science. Now if you want, say Java programming, okay, search for a Java programming, I got about 77,000 results. So likewise, you can apply various filters. Say for example, suppose if you want resources only for
Financial management, sir.
sorry ma, I didn't get you.
Corporate financial management.
Corporate financial management. Right. So I searched for corporate financial management. I got corporate and financial management, the new financial system. So there is a trick. So what you can do is you can just put a double quotes before and after, which will get you the topics which are exactly the same. Okay. So here you can see there are few resources which may be relevant for you. So this is how you can access the National Digital Library. And also there are some features like you can change the language interface into various Indian languages like Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, you can change it. And you can also have this section called study at home section, wherein our team has classified the resources for engineering, science subjects, law and management. Say for example, suppose if you want law and management, and within that management, you can see the various resources which may be relevant for you. This is not exhaustive, but I would still suggest you to go for topic-wise search so that you may get relevant results, right? So now let me get back to the presentation. So just for your understanding, I searched for a few topics like Java programming, artificial intelligence, history of English literature, financial accounting, microeconomics, human resource management, biotechnology, etc. Okay. And I've already shown you the study at home section wherein we have classified the resources. And these are the resources which are relevant for college-going students. Like we have NPTEL resources, Sodhganga's thesis, Swayam lectures, Digital Library of India, rare collection of resources, Satyajit Ray's original writings, Bose Institute materials, spoken tutorial, EPG Pathshala, NSDL, MIT OpenCourseware, Semantic Scholar, Oxide.org, Paperity, CiteCRX, faculty contributions. Apart from this, the Government of India also procured national license from South Asia Archive and World Book Library and given to NDL registered users at free of cost. And we also have few pressure reading materials like 1984, The Metamorphosis, Pride and Prejudice, Dracula, etc. And we have question banks of some of the competitive examination like UPSC Civil Service Examination, National Testing Agencies, various competitive or entrance examination resources also available. For IIT, JEE, Main and Advanced, we have their last 10 years solved papers also. Will be showing you how to download a content. So these are some of the important filter options that you may want to remember. Say, for example, you searched on a topic called strategic alliances, and you wanted only full text content. So what you have to do is go to this filter called access restriction, choose open and NDLI, then you will get only the full text resources. And then similarly, you can filter by author, by subject category, by educational level, by file format, language, learning resource type, source, and content type. As I said, you can also change the language interface into various Indian languages as well. Right. So far what we have seen is why NDLI was created, how does NDLI work, what kind of content we have, who is this meant for, how to access the NDLI from the web-based or browser-based application. So now I'm going to quickly share with you how to access the NDLI mobile app. Right. So suppose if you're having a mobile phone handy with you, just go to, suppose if you're using an Android phone, go to the Play Store, or if you're using an iPhone, go to the App Store, and then search for National Digital Library of India. Okay, you have to enter the entire name, especially in the App Store, because if you put NDLI in the App Store, you will not get the desired result. So you have to put the entire name. So once you search, you have to look for this logo, app name, and the publisher name. All the three should be National Digital Library of India. Then you just click install in the app, then the app will get installed in your mobile phone. So once the app is installed in your phone, just click on the app. Then the home screen of NDLI mobile app will open, this which will look like this. This is how the NDLI mobile app look like. So here also you can do the access the content by two ways. One is through browse, another one is through open search. Suppose if you want to browse, this 4 square, this is the browse icon in the mobile app. So you can just click here. Then all the 4 browse options will appear on the bottom. Or if you want to search, right? So then you can click on this search icon. Then the search box will appear here. So here you can enter your search keyword and then click keypad from the search from the keypad. Right. So I searched for a topic called financial accounting, and I got 2.25 lakh results on this topic. Right. So now if I want to filter or narrow down this results, what I have to do is this orange color icon. This is the filter icon in the mobile app. So I just have to click on this. Then the filters which we saw just a few minutes ago, all of them will be listed on the top. So you can actually scroll down to see the remaining filter. Suppose if you want only video content, go to this filter called content type, choose video, and then click apply. Now we got only 205 results on this topic of financial accounting. Okay. So now I'm going to give you a small activity to each one of you. So there are two parts to this activity. One is, first I want each one of you to install the NDLI mobile app if you have not yet done so. If you've already done, brilliant. Second, I want you to search for a topic of your choice. It could be subject of teaching, subject of study, or subject of interest. And then in the chat box, let me know which topic you searched and how many results you found. Okay. For this exercise, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Now it's like 5:35 in my system. I'm going to give you time till 5:40 to complete this exercise. Okay. And your 5 minutes time starts now. Yes, so there is a question from T. Karuna, Tamil textbook there. Yes, if it's available. Yes, it's available, Karuna. Tamil books are also available. Kannada books are also available. Malayalam books are available, but the collection may not be great. We have very few collections in the regional languages. Our next target is to improvise on the or increase the collection of local language content or regional language content. Right. So now I have already given you the exercise. So kindly start your install the app and then search for the topic and then let me know which topic you search and how many results you found. And your 5 minutes time has just started. Okay, further, Abin started searching. He searched for financial markets and services. K. Mukesh searched on income tax. Ms. Madhu searched on deep learning. Sorry, Mr. Madhu Chandan, I believe. Sorry. Neha searched on C++. Sorry, I missed somebody. Gautami searched on mathematics. And Dikshanya searched on a topic which I can't understand or pronounce properly. Netravadi searched on taxation. Priyanka searched on GST. Kritika searched on marketing. Gautami searched on computer programming. Karthikeyan searched on philosophy. Akash searched on JavaScript. Harita searched on business ethics. Okay. Gautami, okay. Human development by Nitya. Salini searched on financial accounts. Manihandan searched on photography. Monisha searched on business ethics. Srujan searched on C program. Mritula searched on business ethics. Deepak searched on machine learning. Brilliant, Deepak. Shalini searched on higher purchase system. Arun searched on electromagnetism. Very good. Madheshwaran searched on international financial management. Great. Tilak searched on Photoshop. Brilliant. Naina searched on Java. Very good, very good. So good number of variety of topics that you guys started searching. Just 2 more minutes left before we start the session. Okay, so Netravati searched on human rights, Joseph searched on web designing, Shrita searched on modern marketing, Shalini searched on cyber security. Very good, very good. So how many of you have found this resources useful for you or for your friends? If yes, kindly raise your hands. Let me see how many of you are really finding it. Don't do it just for the namesake. I want you to be very honest. I can see a good number of people. Gautami, Kesh, Madhuchandan, Gautami, okay. Tikshanya, Bharat, Kartikeyan, Srujan, Neha, Harida, Tanuja, Kavya, Kritika, Tilak, Joseph. Very good. So I can see a good, at least I thought only 10 people will raise hands, but I think I can see at least some 20, 30 people have raised their hands. It means at least I have done a job, my job of at least introducing something new to you. So you can relax. So now what I request each one of you is, if you find this useful, my humble request to you is start using for your academic work, and share it with your friends and relatives. That's my humble request to each one of you. Right. So sharing knowledge is the best gift that you can give it to anyone in this world. So kindly start sharing the resources. That's my humble request to each one of you. So now let me quickly, we just have 2 more sections to cover. I will just take less than 5 minutes to cover the remaining 2 sections. And then we can quickly open up for question and answers if you have any. So many people keep asking me this question of like, we have Google, then why do we need the National Digital Library of India? And I keep giving them this example of this girl called Payal, who's studying in class 8 under native languages Hindi, and she's particularly scared about magnetism in the subject of physics. Similarly, there is a guy called Shamik who wants to pursue his PhD on the subject of magnetism. Now, both of them went to Google. They searched for the same topic called magnetism, and they found 1.89 crore results. And then they came to NDLI. They searched for the same topic called magnetism, and they found 11,16,000 results. Now, what Payal did, she applied 2 filters. Okay, the first filter was she chose educational level of only 5th to 8th standard, and then second she chose the language of only Hindi. Now she got only 8 relevant results for her. Whereas what Shami did, he chose only a career and technical papers, and he got 219 results which are relevant for him. So from this example, the broad difference between Google, ideally we should not compare between Google and NDLI because these are 2 different objects created for 2 different purposes. But still many people keep asking me this question, so I'm forced to give this example. First and foremost, NDLI has only curated educational content, right? How? Because we only partner with trusted educational research and publishing institutions. So that's the first and foremost difference. On the other hand, Google has content from all sorts of domains. It contains content from educational as well as non-educational domain. It has content from real as well as fake information. It has content from both the authentic content and unauthentic sources. So it has a variety of content. And the second difference is you can narrow down the results using educational filter options at NDLI, which is not possible in Google, though Google has an advanced search option, but that is very generic in nature. And the third difference is ours is a unified platform, which means you can access the content of over 386 content sources in a single platform, which is not possible in the Google system. And the last difference is NDLI has national license content, which Google does. So these are the broader difference between Google and NDLI. So now we have come to the last part of the presentation, which is how to operate an NDLI club in your own institution. So first and foremost, the primary objective of NDLI club is to promote the culture of reading and learning, especially among the young generation. That is the primary objective. And for this purpose, we have created an online platform for conducting various learning-oriented activities. And we also organize a lot of global events from our end, which are relevant for, which we feel relevant for the young generation. And we believe this will enhance the students' core competencies and sharpen their skills. Right. And now I will skip few slides because this has been already done by your institution. And so now your institution has officially become a partner of NDLI Club, and they have started an NDLI Club in your own institution. Now, after this session is over with 100 plus participants, your institution will be given a certificate of registration, which will look like this. And so after you get this certificate of registration, you will be issued, you have to register all the students and faculty members under NDLI club within the next 30 days. So that is the first step that you have to do. And the second one is you have to conduct at least 10 reading or knowledge related activities in the next 1 year. And these activities could be it could be a lecture series or a quiz competition or a storytelling session, go-fish session, film screening, drawing competition, role play, writing competition, make a space, or debate. So these are just indicative list of activities. And you can also come up with your own reading, learning, or knowledge related activities for your own club. And but remember, most important thing you should remember is each event that you conduct under NDLI club should be created on the NDLI club platform, and the participant should be registered on the platform, and the report of the event should be uploaded on the platform. Then only we will be able to review your work and then grant or provide extension for your approval for the next year. Right. So that's it from my end. If you have any questions, you can either unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat box, whichever you feel comfortable. Over to the moderator for taking it forward.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable information and uplifting our discipline on digital library. Dear participants, we'll be running a live question answer session now. Please post your queries in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and our chief guest will be answering to the questions of yours. Yeah, participants, you can raise your questions. If you have anything, you can ask to Dr. Vignesh. He's there to help us. And these participants who are using the YouTube, even if you have any possibilities, you can ask through that mode also.
Any questions? Any comments or any feedback?
Yes, maybe anything, dear participants, you can clarify your doubts.
So there are two ways one can expect a silence. One is that you have understood a lot, or you have not understood anything. So whichever it is, I hope many of you, or at least a few of you, have found it useful. And if you find it useful, my humble request to each one of you is to start using it and then share it with your friends and relatives. That's it.
Yeah. So I have a question on this.
Yes, please.
So is this, do we have an app on this? That is an NDL app?
Yes.
So if it is there, we can browse without having internet facility. Is it possible?
No. So it's a live app. So you have to have basic connectivity for accessing it.
So it should be have a continuous network.
Yes. Once you download it, you may not need it, but till the time you search and save the resources, then you should have. So there is a question from Strujan. It's a storybook for elders. So I'm leaving it to you because I want you to search and find out whether you have a storybook for elders. I have seen there is a source called Story Weaver, which is from Pratham. They have storybooks for children, but your question is storybook for elders. Maybe I think World eBook Library may have some storybooks which may be relevant for the elder, senior section citizens or something. Right.
So there is one more question. Why some of the resources are locked in lock modes?
Very good question. So what we believe in is like promote as much of open educational resources as possible. So that is why you can see a lot of resources, at least 74% of our resources are open source. but still many of the publishing industry players, they feel that uh, their resources are needs to be what you call there has to be some price for accessing these resources. So that is, but they are willing to share their metadata, as I said. The resources that we have, they will give the basic information about the resource, but they will not give the entire access to the content. So what they expect is either you go to a place where you have the subscription for that source, or you buy for your own institution. That is what they expect. Unfortunately, NDLI doesn't collect any money from anyone. So our resources are completely free of cost. So we are not permitted to collect any money from any institution. So that is why it's still locked. But if the institution is feeling that you can take subscription and give access to those resources, you can get in touch with Inflipnet Shodh Sindhu. So they have, or Enlist for that matter. So they have good amount of subscription for various negotiated price for various sources which you can access.
Yeah.
I hope I
So,
answered your
yes, yes. So we have one more query over here. What events will be conducted in NDLI club that will benefit BBS students?
Okay, that's a good question. So, for example, yesterday we had a global event on future of career in technology, right? So, I think at least about 850 live participants were there, and I think around 4,000 videos were viewed still yesterday night itself. So this and the resource person was from Intel Corporation, who has good control over the market, hiring, etc. So he spoke to our audience about what are the skills that you have to have in order to get into a higher educational institution or getting into a job market. So likewise, we will bring in a lot of industry experts to talk to you and then give you advice. And also we will bring in people from government and non-government industries to give you a lot of perspective outside of your academic institution. That's what the objective of India Club is. We will try to keep you abreast of latest happenings. So there is a question from Ms. Kavita. Nowadays, we can't see libraries nearby except schools and colleges. So it will be useful for everyone to improve their knowledge and use their leisure time anywhere they need it. Thank you, Kavita. That's what we expect. My humble request to each one of you is to promote as much as possible. That's my humble request.
Sir, there's one more query in that. Is possibilities there to where the students can upload the content in the NDLI?
Yes, there is complete freedom. Only thing is it should not be copyrighted material, and you should be willing to share it on an open source license. There are two ways through which you can do it: either through an institutional partnership, through your management. You have to write to us for becoming a content contributor. For that, there is a separate agreement. Or if you are an individual faculty member who is willing to share your own video lectures, PowerPoint presentations, question banks, various other audio lectures, you are free to write to us separately. We would be happy to host your content.
Okay. Yes,
Right.
certainly, sir. This all will help us.
Sure. So then if there are not much questions, then I think we can wind up the session.
Yeah. So is anyone else who has a question in their minds? We'll take a 30 seconds of time. It looks like we have covered all your questions. Then now I would like to request our librarian, Department of Library and Information Center, Mr. Sean George, to present the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Perfect round for the Gene Store CMI principal. Guest speaker of the day, Dr. Vignesh Sannamohan, Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, National Digital Library of India. Round for the Epin Francis, Vice Principal, heads of departments, my dear colleagues and participants. I'm indeed happy to extend my sincere thanks to pillar of encouragement and support from Father Gene Store CMI principal for guiding and leading us in organizing such an informative session. It is a great privilege to extend a heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to our resource person, Dr. Vignesh Sonnamohan, Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, NDLI, who enlightened us on the various aspects of NDLI in a lucid and candid manner. On behalf of Christ College of Science and Management and the Department of Library and Information Center, I thank you, sir, for your valuable time and effort. Now I thank Reverend Father Ebin Kalarakal, Vice Principal, Christ International School, and all the club executive members for their technical and expert advice for the execution of the session. My in-depth thanks to all the teachers for their cooperation for the smooth execution of the informative session. A special word of gratitude to technical team for offering technical expertise for the event. We are indebted to all the participants who took time and interest to join us today for this informative session. I firmly believe that we have gathered fresh and new insight for creating a successful and inspiring teaching learning process. Once again, thanking one and all, I remain.
Yeah, thank you, sir. At the end of the session, I would like to extend my hearty welcome. I am happy thanks to all of you, as you have made a huge effort in joining us today. A special thanks to Dr. Vignesh for his expertise. And we are the members of Christ College of Science and Management and the Department of Library and Information Center are deeply appreciative and offer our most grateful thanks to all of you once again for joining us. The
Thank you.
feedback, yeah, thank you, sir. And feedback form will be given in the chat box. Make sure that you will fill it in order to receive these certificates. And due to the technical constraints, we had only 100 participants, but there are many who are taken part in YouTube and watching our sessions. Thank you once again. So we'll come back once more in coming days with more informative sessions. Thank you once again.